Greetings everyone, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee, and this is my show, the Goth Tarot, where I take the weekly look at shadow, emotive, philosophies, sorrows, hauntings, things that sort of make us question our lives and get kind of serious and moody. It's all the norm for us. Others may not ever understand. So what I do is I read several cards from several decks, and I try to answer the kind of questions that Goth people might be concerned with. So, what is our dark gift? What are the insights or intuitions, abilities, talents, hunches that we may have, the things that we have that give us power or the ability to mitigate both dark and light in our lives. And the dark gift is drawn from the Crow's Magic Tarot. And the card that I have picked is the Nine of Swords. And it's upright. And it speaks of pain. I think as a gift, this may be saying that because of the pain that we personally feel in our lives, whether it's physical, mental, emotional pains, we may actually feel that we have an ability to discern, to be empathic or empathize with others who feel such pain and possibly be able to help them. And of course, it is a gift to do that. But the traditional meaning of the Nine of Swords maybe suggests that we could become too involved in this gift, too involved in this feeling of others' pain, and that it may distract us from our own issues that are just as important, or that in fact the pain or the emotiveness that we feel with others may actually hurt us just as much, if not more. So as a gift, it's a very dark gift indeed. Be careful how we relate to other people and their problems, and how they may try to draw us into their own sorrows and sadness without any thought about how they can solve these things for themselves, or maybe they don't care to. So then that brings up the idea of what the dark struggles actually are in our lives. And I use the Gothic Tarot for that. Whoops, it's a little slippery today. Or is it me? And the dark struggles relate to the idea of what are the actual burdens or pains or situations that we have to deal with. So it's not exactly like the first card, although the first card sort of showed us burdens or pains, but in a different context. This would probably show us what kind of issues that we're dealing with, and that to some degree are a really strong hold on our lives. And so I picked two cards for that. And the first card is the Ten of Pentacles, and it's reversed, as a dark struggle should be, perhaps. And then that's followed by the Star reversed. And so the cards, sorry to snicker there, totally match the idea of dark struggles. I think this is a really hard time for people who have certain family situations. They may be obligations, or they just may be a set of relationships that either have hierarchy or cascading sensibilities about them, and that may be I want you to stop glaring. Okay, that'll do. So I think that for many of us in the Goth community or the Goth type community, we struggle with family things now, and we don't see a star of hope like, the star of Jesus or whatever that's called. I'm not even sure what that's called. I'm so off the kilter with that. No disrespect, but I don't, and maybe other Goth people, we sort of struggle at this time. I've been diagnosed by someone, just layman, as seasonally affective disorder, and the holidays are not my best point. It could be the darkness, but it could be also too just my own associations with family, and that Ten of Pentacles may talk to that. So these are struggling times that don't really leave us with the same feelings of hope that other people have. And that's us. That's our right to be that way. It would be a much more complex dialogue to discuss the whys of why some of us may feel that way at the holiday time. And I'm not here to do that. So finally, we move on to the last set of cards. And you'll notice I've been building a little pyramid there. I'm going to make the pyramid a little bigger with 3 cards at the bottom. And for that, I use the Night Sun Tarot by Fabio Listani, who is a wonderful artist. I think I own 4 decks by this artist. He mostly works for Lo Scarabeo, as far as I can tell. But the Night Sun Tarot is symbolically really good with those contrasts between dark and light that I tend to favor. And so we're actually looking at 3 cards with 3 separate meanings. The first one is the dark truth. What truth do we now inhabit that we have to accept, perhaps, or that maybe destiny could offer us some thoughts about change? It's the 2 of Swords. It's upright. So, pyramid, I will put you there. I'm going to splay you like I did last week, I think, a little bit that way. So the dark truth is you kind of have a sense of control here. You may not have the actual direction you're thinking of, the actual vision that you're thinking of towards movement, but you really are keenly in position to do something once you have decided. And it may be that there is a decision, a choice for you to make in this time period. And you want to do so with assurance, which you nearly have, but it's just more about what more you need to know here. And so you're looking towards that. The truth is that you are still a seeker, but you're a stronger seeker now. Okay, so then the next card is the Dark Sacrifice, and it represents the kind of sacrifices or changes we may need to make, or it could represent what sorrows we're bearing. And the Tower. But at least it's upright, as Banshee would say. The Tower. There's a lesson to be learned, and maybe somebody doesn't want to learn the lesson. Somebody keeps thinking they can try to retake the tower. The tower might be like an objective here. And I was just talking about the tower as it shows up in some of our other card readings, and I often feel that the tower talks about our ego and our pride and our unwillingness to maybe cooperate with either people or with the forces of nature, as they might be, to resolve problems. And that it's a lesson we never quite learn, or some of us never quite learn, because that's why it showed up here, that we will be in sorrow to keep making the same mistakes unless we learn how to adjust our pride and our ego. And Goth-minded people dark-minded people are just as capable of having a supreme hubris about how superior they are to others. And of course, we are, but we don't have to really hit people over the head with that. I mean, we can learn how to live our own lives and concentrate on our own damn business, learn our own lessons. So the sacrifice is that. Pay attention to your own burning tower. Okay, I'm going to lighten up now and tell you what the dark redemption is. And the dark redemption is justice. Boy, I'm looking at that like, what card is that? Is that the Hierophant? No, it's justice. The dark redemption is that maybe if we do these things, if we play all the right cards, metaphor, we have justice. We see decisions, which was indicated with that 2 over there. We see decisions, choices, challenges working in our favor. And you know, I think that's really nice. I'm just going to leave that there for all of my wonderful dark goth-minded people and say thank you for coming. Keep hope alive. Keep the thoughts of what you need to learn, and try to learn from your lessons. Try to learn from your prideful falls. And always, always seek justice. Never accept injustice. Take care, all.